Okay, we're going to get started here. We are in the month of November, and so we have been talking about gratitude. This is the month of thankfulness, gratitude. We have Thanksgiving coming up, and I remember as a kid, uh, you know, really it didn't feel like Thanksgiving, meaning that what we did was we sat around and, we got our pie and we got our turkey and we got our mashed potatoes and we had football on the screen and maybe some houses that I went to, people would say, let's go around and say one thing you're thankful for. And it's cool. I love it. I love Thanksgiving. It's a fun time with the holiday, with the family, and I love the football and the turkey. And in some places, you go play the turkey bowl thing where you get up at like 6 in the morning and go play football with some buddies. And I love it. But I think a lot of times when we think about holidays like that, it kind of becomes a cliche, right? It becomes something that we don't really value enough. And part of it, I think, is because there's not enough emphasis on the thankful part of it. Thanksgiving, and this isn't really meant to go too much into Thanksgiving as we're coming up on that, but Thanksgiving itself has to do with, giving thanks. And when we give thanks, without something we're requiring in return, it changes the dynamic of things. It changes our brain. And so I wanted to talk about that this month because we're entering into the holiday season. This is where guys really, 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 really start feeling the pain of separation or divorce. Probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to have an influx of more men because most separations and divorces actually get started around Christmas and January. I think January is the biggest month for divorces in America. A lot of times women are saying, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore, but let's just get through the holidays. After the holidays, I'll move out, you move out, whatever. And I've been doing this for years, and every year it's the same thing, and we encounter the same influx of men who find out their wife is cheating on them, men who find out that their wife doesn't love them anymore. And so what I want to do today is really get into the science of thankfulness and why it's imperative to you as a man, regardless of what you're experiencing. Maybe you're not in the deep, deep pain and dark pit you were before. But this is going to apply to all five dimensions of you. We talk about the five-dimensional man, you as a father, you as a leader, you as a lover, you as a man, and you as a producer. And those five dimensions make up all the dimensions of who you are and what you have to give to this world. So as I talk through this, I want you to hear it from this perspective that this isn't some positive thinking thing. This isn't just to like fake your brain out so that you're okay. No, this is powerful stuff. And I use this in my own day because I have constant ups and downs, constant fluctuations, whether it's on the client side in the business, whether it's my own kids. I've got 7 kids. I've got a wife. I've got all kinds of things. I'm a five-dimensional man. I've got dimensions that are, some are going great, other dimensions aren't going as well. And I've had to really tap into this gratitude. And anytime I find myself getting selfish, getting narcissistic, getting depressed, getting all those things are the areas where I am not being thankful. I'm believing a lie somewhere. And so what we want to do is we want to start focusing on gratitude and thankfulness to turn the mind around, to sort of repent of our old way of thinking, to create new levels of thinking. And this new way of thinking is what's going to propel and empower you to become who you want to be. Because really at the end of this, for me, the goal is not to just get you through a situation. The goal for me is to transform you through that situation, to use your situation of separation, divorce as context for empowering men to become more empowered. Because when they come to me, they figured out that they've been living this blasé life. They've been living this like less than life. And as they work with me and as they see the work we do in our Thrive program and getting deeper, they start to realize, oh my gosh, I've been selling myself short. My kids like to say this lately, you sold the clip. You're selling, Dad. I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, means you're basically just like not doing it right. And so many of you are just selling the clip. Like you're just like letting go. You're just like living life. And then you get slapped with this and you're like, fuck, now what? Right. And so this is where I find guys. And so what I want to do is I want to go through, there's just a couple of different research studies, and I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of facts and details, but I want to talk about it from this place of like there is a science behind gratitude that is backed up. So it's not just like positive thinking. Let's just think positive about your situation. No, fuck that. If I'm going to do this, I want it to come from a place of like reality and like authenticity, right? I don't want you to just be thankful, just say it out loud because, well, I'm supposed to be thankful for this. No, I want you to tap into the meaning of it and tap into it. So we're going to do is go through a couple of different scientific things and share with you some facts, and then I'll provide context. And then at the end, I think I'm going to give you guys a journaling exercise that you can do that I think is going to be powerful for you. So again, if you can't stay on the whole time, which will probably only be 20 minutes or so, we do send out the replay tomorrow. So anyways, so let's get into it. So number one, gratitude releases toxic emotions. That means like you literally don't have to keep all this stuff inside of you. So all these emotions, the negativity you're feeling, all the memories, all the stuff that you're feeling, when you become grateful, not for the bad, but grateful for what you've had. If you remember last week, we talked about the gap and the gain, not focusing on the gap, but focusing on the gain. If I can focus on that, I literally get to release toxic emotions that have been trapped in my body. There's a great book I talk about all the time, The Body Keeps Score. And in that book, there's a scientific research that talks about the idea that trauma is trapped at the cellular level in your body. It's not just in your brain, it's in all of your cells. It's all in there. And so we have to release it, and we release it through gratitude. That's one of the ways that we do that. They found that it reduces fear and anxiety by regulating the stress hormones. I mean, that's powerful. You talk about being overwhelmed, right? I don't know how many of you, but I know when I started dealing with a lot of this stuff 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, when I found out my ex-wife was cheating on me, there was this overwhelm. There was this point of where I couldn't even stay in my office. Like I would close the door and I would just cry, and then I would walk outside and I would cry some more. And like I was just constantly in a state of just fear and anxiety and feeling like I was dying. I was grieving the death of my marriage. And that's what many of you are experiencing. But what has to happen, and what I started to shift into, was a place of gratitude for what I do have, for what is possible, for what is around me. And as I tapped into that, I started feeling less sorry for myself and actually started feeling sorry for her because of what she was throwing away, and recognizing, man, she must be in a lot of pain to be doing this. I mean, like, no woman walks down the aisle and says, man, I can't wait to fuck some other dude, unless she's fucking crazy. That's not what women do, right? They walk down the aisle thinking they're going to be with you for the rest of their life. Maybe some of them have whatever stuff, but for the most part, 99.9% of the time, that's the intention behind getting married, is I'm going to be with this man for the rest of my life. And over time and over the years through the relationship, whether it's you or her, it doesn't matter. The fact is marriages get bogged down when you're not intentional as a man. And so I started looking at it and I was like, man, I mean, I thought I was in pain, but what if, what about the pain she's in and that's causing her to do this? And what is that saying to her identity? Now, I'm not saying that to excuse it, and I didn't say it to excuse it, but it like helped me understand where she was coming from and using that empathy. So gratitude, I was grateful not for what she was doing, but I was grateful for the experience. Guys, I cannot underestimate. I don't want you to underestimate this. The experience of what you were experiencing right now, this separation, divorce, whatever it is you're going through, can be one of the most valuable times of your life. My life, 100,000% changed when I went through this, for the better. For the better. Meaning the man you see today was not the same man I was 7, 8 years ago. I was pathetic. I was what I call Disney dad, domiciled, weak, fucking overweight, whatever. I didn't have my shit together. I was broke. I couldn't fucking make money, like all of those things. And as I shifted to a new identity and a future self through my divorce, I became this guy. I became this empowered man. I shook off all the shackles of like being shut down and saying nobody wants to anything that I have to say, and money and all of these things. And there is so much more now than what I was before. So I'm thankful. I'm actually grateful that I had to experience that pain, because that pain helped shape me into who I am today. So gratitude releases toxic emotions. Gratitude also can release pain, like physical pain. I'm not going to get too far into that, but there was like people who kept a gratitude journal, and we'll actually talk about that, that 16% of them had reduced pain symptoms in their body. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, because the more grateful you are, the more physically free you feel, when you are doing activities or whatever. And I don't know, it's just kind of powerful. Anyways, the third one, gratitude improves sleep quality. I mean, how many of you know that when you're feeling good about your day, you sleep better at night, right? When you're not worried and stressed and all these things, you're sleeping better at night. I don't know about you guys, but I track my sleep with this thing called an Aura Ring. Every night, I know exactly what my sleep score is because it's got an app attached to my phone. I use it on here, and every night I check in the mornings. I check out my sleep was. I look at it shows me my blood oxygen level. It shows me my REM sleep, my deep sleep, my rest, all of those things. And I do that because I want to make sure that I'm at optimal performance. So if I know, hey, I didn't sleep well last night, guess what? I'm probably going to be a little bit more anxious. I'm probably going to be a little bit more snappy with kids and things of that nature. This is why I take care of myself. This is why I take care of my physical body. This is why I've been on a weight loss journey. All these things, not to look a certain way, but because I want to be healthy. And I know that you want to be healthy too. And so in that, you find gratitude for the sleep quality. You find gratitude, and it just like literally when I'm looking at the research here, it says there's a regulation triggered by gratitude helps us get deeper and healthier natural sleep every day. A brain filled with gratitude and kindness is more likely to sleep well and wake up feeling refreshed and energetic in the morning. I don't know about you guys, but I want to sleep well. I want to wake up energetic every morning. A brain filled with gratitude gives you the best shot at doing that. All right, another one. Gratitude aids in stress regulation. They found that gratitude and appreciation found that participants who felt grateful showed a get this out of the way. Showed a marked reduction in the level of cortisol, the stress hormone. They had better cardiac functioning and were more resilient to emotional setbacks and negative experiences. So again, it aids in stress regulation. If you are stressed, you need to be grateful, not for the stress itself, but grateful for what you have, what is going on, all the experiences. And we'll get into some of the practical ways of doing that. The next one, gratitude reduces anxiety and depression by reducing the stress hormones, managing the autonomic nervous system functions. Gratitude significantly reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. Again, if you are feeling anxious and depressed, you've got to be grateful, not for the depression, but grateful for what you have, grateful for what is before you, grateful for that future, grateful for those things. Anytime I'm going through any type of lull, any type of whatever, I have to look at, sometimes I deal with bad clients and I go, man, what a shitty asshole. I don't like that fucking guy. The fact is he's in pain, and he's in pain for a certain reason. And if I get offended by his pain, guess what? I've given into his negative behavior. So what I like to do is I go, well, you know what? This wasn't a good situation, but man, I really like working with Joe. I really like working with Steve. And man, that was a great conversation I had the other day with him. In fact, I'll do this thing where I'll just get on calls just for free, just to bless people, just because like it makes me feel good to give. And when I give like that, suddenly I receive back. Suddenly things happen. Anytime our business has gone through any type of lull, I'm like, hey guys, let's just get on calls. Let's just email people. How can we help you? And instead of focusing so much on always on the client stuff. And that's a business thing. You can use that tool in anything that you're doing. Anywhere you're feeling that depression, it's like, what can I be grateful for? If your kids aren't doing it, if this has happened, man, you know what, son, I don't like the way your attitude is, but I can be grateful for how you showed up earlier on this thing, or I can be grateful for how you're doing in school and your grades are doing well. Let's work on the attitude, but man, you're doing really well over here. And you start focusing on that instead of just every other little thing, and you start nitpicking them. So overall, there's all these things that gratitude does for you. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys a quick exercise to do today, this weekend, whatever. And I'm going to walk you through this gratitude journal. I want you to utilize this because I think this will help some of you. This is actually kind of a tool we use internally at Empowered Man, especially when we have a guy who's feeling big, heavy emotions. A lot of guys come to me and they don't know how to deal with big, heavy emotions. Some of you, maybe you're really good at it. But either way, whether it's big, heavy emotions or it's small emotions, both of those have to be unpacked. Why? Because men react. We are responsive to external stimuli, which means we fly off the handle easily. We yell at people. We knee-jerk reaction because we aren't really in tune with what is actually happening inside of us. So I want you to use this gratitude journal. I want to challenge you on. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. There's 4 different things that we're going to be talking about in this that you're going to basically be laying out. So the very first thing I want you to do is answer this question. What are some compliments that I would like to give myself today? What are some compliments that I would like to give myself today? Man, I'm really proud of myself for doing a great job at work today. I'm really proud of how I talked to my wife today. I'm really grateful for how I was with my kids today. Even when I didn't feel like being with them, I had the energy and it was a great experience. Compliments you would like to give yourself today. Think about a couple of compliments that you would like to give yourself today. Okay, the next one. What are some current challenges and what am I learning from them? What are some current challenges and what am I learning from them? Current challenges and what am I learning from them? So in this case, you might be looking at your situation with your wife and go, this is a challenge. What am I learning from this challenge? When she communicates with me in a certain way, I'm learning that I respond negatively. Well, I want to dig into that. I want to go, why do I respond that way? I want to get underneath that hood. I want to open up the hood. I want to get my hands dirty. I want to figure out those things. Current challenges. Number 3, who are some people I am grateful for today? Who are some people I am grateful for today? Who are some people I'm grateful for today? So easy to be mad at certain people. It's easy to be mad at your wife. It's easy to be mad at your kids. It's easy to be mad at the world, mad at your boss, mad at everything, right? We live in a fucking social construct that is all about rage and outrage and cancel culture and all this shit. People are mad about the election. People mad. The Democrats did this, the Republicans did it. Like we live in a state of constant things. So instead of living in there, I want you to go, who are the people I'm grateful for? Who are the people I'm grateful for and that I can be thankful for today? It could be some nice lady at the gym who was just kind to you. It could be a dude that complimented you on your socks or something, or said, hey man, it looks like you're losing some weight or whatever. Like, who are you grateful for today? And then the final one, what are significant assets of my life at present? What are significant assets of my life at present? Maybe it's your home. Maybe it's your 401k. Maybe it's not financial. Maybe it's your children's love is an asset. Maybe it's the fact that you got buddies that love you. Maybe you got a church family that loves you. What are some assets? Those assets don't have to be financial. They can be relational. They can be spiritual. Maybe you have a relationship with God and you're like, I'm thankful for my relationship with God. That is a big asset in my life right now. So I'll go back over them real quick. Compliments I'd like to give myself today, current challenges and what I'm learning from them, the people I'm grateful for, and the significant assets of my life at present. So guys, it's really about this as we get into, we're now the second week of November. We're getting down to the last 6, 7 weeks of the year. You're about to experience a lot of shit with the holidays. Some of you, this is the first time you've experienced being alone on a holiday. I remember my first Thanksgiving where we split the kids and I had them for the evening and she had them for the afternoon, and it was fucking awkward and I hated it. And I remember trying to make Thanksgiving dinner with just my kids and the weirdness of it. But I pushed through and I was like, I'm going to make this the best fucking Thanksgiving dinner possible. I am going to focus on what I can do. I like ham. Ham looks easy. I'm not doing a turkey. Fuck the turkey. I'm doing a ham. And I did a ham. And I made a spread. And I did the things. And I had my daughter help out and my boys, and I had a baby at the time. And it was just me and the kids. And I didn't like it. I didn't want to be in that situation. But it was what it was. There was nothing I could do about it other than enjoy my time with my kids. Be grateful for what I have because I wasn't alone. Some of you might be alone on Thanksgiving. Find people you can be around. Find friends you can be around. Find a community of men. Find other people. Don't just isolate yourself. Isolation, as my old pastor used to say, breeds weirdness, right? It breeds weirdness because you don't have anybody to challenge you, to call you forward. And that's what most men are missing. That is why I do the work that I do. That is why I have my Thrive program. That is my invitation to you, is to find community in the group of guys that I have. It's not just about my content and my teaching and my coaching. It's also about being a part of a brotherhood, being a part of a family. I mean, what it would be like for you to wake up every day knowing that you've got 50 other guys that have your back, that you know that no matter what's going on around you, no matter what, it feels like everything's falling apart, you know that other men have your back. And I'm not talking about the kind of men that are just your drinking buddies. Are going to tell you to fuck that bitch and whatever, and move on, and go get you some pussy and go get laid. No, I'm not talking about those types of guys. I'm talking about the guys that are like, hey man, you are better than this. hey man, you don't have to talk to her that way. There's more in you. There is a future for you that's waiting for you, that's just calling out to you. I was talking about this yesterday with our Thrive clients, and I was like, I don't want my 65-year-old self to go, dude, you could have had me now, but you waited 20 years because you wouldn't do the work to get there. That's the same thing for all of us. We're going to all be whatever it is we're going to be. We're all going to end up in a certain place. We're all going to die at some point. But there's a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old version of you, a 50-year-old version of you, a 60-year-old version, a 70, 80-year-old version, however many years left you have to live on this planet. And that version of you is literally waiting for you to become that man today. Like, imagine if you didn't have to wait until you were 65 to become that guy. Imagine if you decided the things that I want to do, the person I want to be, I can be that guy now if I start doing the work today. Because too many of you are procrastinating. You're putting off tomorrow what could be done today because you're scared. You're afraid of the future. You have uncertainty. All of those things lead to procrastination, lead to paralysis of making a decision to go all in on yourself. So my challenge to you today is, if you were done faking the shit, if you were done with this, like, I don't want to live that way, I am ready to become my future self now, I want to give you an invitation to get on a call with me, to chat through what it is that is going on in your life that says, I'm done living this way. I want to make changes for me. And in those changes, maybe it'll bring back your wife, maybe it won't. But you'll know that you are confident. You will know in your ability to walk through, navigate, like, crush the waves that you are going through right now. I mean, some of you are just literally getting wiped out. I just see a picture of some of you just getting wiped out by waves. Like, you keep trying to get into the ocean, and these waves of rejection, these waves of bitterness, these waves of abandonment, these waves just keep knocking you the fuck down. What if instead of you getting knocked down by them, what if instead of you getting overwhelmed by them, I give you a surfboard and I teach you how to surf those waves? I teach you how to get on those waves and navigate those waves instead of it taking you out, instead of crushing you and topsoil, whatever, turvy toppy, whatever thing. That happened to me over the summer. I go to California every year. We rent a beach house, and that freaking wave, dude, took me out. I'm 200 plus. I'm a big boy. And that thing not only took me out, but spins me around like the spin cycle, like you're in a freaking laundromat. And that is exactly what's happening to many of you right now, because you don't have the surfboard, or you see the surfboard on the sand, but you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to lead. You don't know how to heal from all this stuff. And so you keep approaching these waves, and that thing just keeps taking you out, keeps taking you out, keeps taking you out. And you're like, I'm strong. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna will it. I'm just gonna make it happen. And you're not making it happen. You're not making progress. You're not getting to where you want to go. I want to challenge you to book a call with me today. I want to challenge you to stop the bullshit, to stop the fears and all this stuff, and go, man, I have got to go all in on myself. I posted my link below. You guys can get on that with me. It's with me personally. It's not with anybody else. I'm going to challenge you right now to do that. I'm going to challenge you to stop making excuses for yourself. I'm going to challenge you to start moving forward on yourself, because it's time that you win yourself back. It's time that you walk in freedom. It's time you stop bullshitting yourself and lying to yourself about where you really are, because I know you are not where you want to be. I know those of you that show up to this every single week and take and take and take and take and take, the reason you can't grow forward is because you're not producing anything, because you're just taking, you're just consuming, you're not producing. Being a consumer is okay, but ultimately you need transformation to create the momentum you want in your life. And that's not going to happen just by listening to my voice on my podcast. Yeah, man, I love it when guys get lots of cool ideas, and I love it. I mean, I put out all this content because I want you to get value from it. But there's a difference between hearing my voice and a difference between actually knowing me and actually being in my presence. There is power in proximity. There is power in proximity of a group of men who can move you forward to the next level in your life. I used to give this analogy all the time. If you and I were going to climb a mountain, and we looked at that mountain and we go, man, that's a high mountain, right? And I look at your hands and you go, dude, the only tools I have is a hammer and a fucking screwdriver. And I'm like, okay, how are you going to climb that mountain with a hammer and a screwdriver? Like, I don't know, man, but this is the only tools I got. And then you look up and you see there's like all these guys up there that have conquered the same mountain you're trying to conquer. And they're like, hey, man, I want to throw you a rope. And all you got to do is grab onto that rope and we will pull you up to where you want to be. What idiot wouldn't do that? No, 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 no. I don't need the rope. I'm just going to try to claw and scratch my way to the top because that's what men do. Because of our ego, because of our lack of humility, we can't get help. We would look weak if we got help. We would look like an imbecile. We would feel like a child because that is the lie that the enemy has told you your whole fucking life. That you have to prove something to other people, that you can will it through, that you can just make it through, and you don't have to really get help, because if you get help, then there's something wrong with you. Bro, there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, I have more respect for a man who can say, I need help. I can't do this on my own. I need help. Just like you look at all the addictions, right? Alcoholics Anonymous, Sexaholics, Narcotics Anonymous, all these addictions that people have, the people who make it are the ones who go, I need help. The very first step they always say to you is what? Is that they realize that you're powerless over that thing. Right now, you are powerless over the thing you're experiencing. And not only are you powerless over it, but you're missing out on what could be. Meaning you're missing out on a brotherhood of men that not only could support you and call you forward, but that you could also give back to. Who are the men that potentially are waiting for you to be a part of so that you could pour into them? This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I've got 20 something guys that are going to be meeting with me in Scottsdale for 3 days. We're going to talk about heavy shit, vision, identity, etc. We're going to be working together through their stuff. We're going to do breath work with a phenomenal trainer that we have that comes in and does that. We're going to watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I got Tyson. We're gonna do fun shit and have fun and laugh at all these things. Why? Because we're a family. And these guys grow through things. It's like a foxhole. It's like if you're at war and you're in battle, you want guys in your foxhole that you can trust. I'm sorry, but most of your drinking buddies aren't those guys. Maybe they've been with you through the breakup, but a lot of times they can't give you the advice because they're looking at it through their skewed lens. Whereas we're going to give you a holistic approach to what you're going through. We're going to help you see the big picture, the lies you're believing about yourself. We're not going to play into your victim bullshit narrative. We're going to call you to the man you want to be. So if you want that, that is what we do in Thrive. And I want to challenge you to book a call with me, to get on a call with me, and let's have that conversation to call you forward. And if you're like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if let's just talk about it. From a financial standpoint, a lot of guys are, I don't know. Look, we've been able to make it work for a lot of guys who didn't think that they could make it work. So it comes back to this. Do you want to transform? Do you want to change? Do you want to heal who you've become? Do you want to be the man that your daughter wants to marry someday? Do you want to be the type of man that you want your son to aspire to be? Then let's get on a call and have a conversation. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a great one. Hey, stay tuned. I've got a premium podcast that's going to be released. What that means is you will get access to premium calls that I only do with my clients. I'm going to be releasing that. It will be, I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. I'll be sending out an email for that, hopefully in the next couple of days, that you'll get to be able to access. So if you like listening to my podcast and you like these, you're going to get access to a special one that's only for my clients that we're going to be rolling out here soon. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. See you. Have a great week.